Hello. So the last live video that we had was erased, and I decided that I was going to do this again because I want to ensure that you have the information. So we are going to try again of learning with Kharis, and I probably just end up hitting. I don't think I hit the share button. So, but it's real quick. And this is Thursday's edition of Learning with Kharis. I am Shanquetta Cunningham, owner and lead strategist of Kharis. And here we purpose to help nonprofit organizations and businesses in the areas of strategic planning, leadership development, and also to help you improve your program performance and also your business planning. And on today's segment, we are going to discuss grants, which of course is the buzzword for nonprofit organizations. And that is fine. But I also want to tell you that as a consultant, that grants should not be your one all in all when it comes to funding your efforts and within your nonprofit, that you should ensure that you have a diversified funding portfolio. Excuse me. So we're going to get right into three grant tips that I think are just some great nuggets to start with as you all are continuing your journey or beginning in the grant writing. Number one, ensure that you are eligible. This is a basic principle, it may seem, but you want to ensure that you are eligible to apply for the particular grant funds. And you do that by reading the eligibility requirements. Every grant funder will have them. They'll tell you if they want to fund in certain regions, the projects they want to fund, if your organization is in a particular state or city. All of those requirements will be posted, and you also want to ensure that you adhere. You do not want to waste your efforts in preparing an application that will not be reviewed. And for a lot of nonprofit funders are assisting with in COVID relief and pandemic relief. And so if your organization, for instance, has not had to close its doors, has not had any changes in your impact, then you may not be eligible for those particular funds. So you want to ensure that you are reading those eligibility requirements, because that will make a difference. And so that's point number one, to ensure that you meet the eligibility requirements. Number two, I would encourage creating a funder cheat sheet. And what this funder cheat sheet will do is allow you to take a thorough look into the grant prospect funder, because it is important to build a relationship with these potential partners, because that's how you want to look at them. Even though grants are not guaranteed every year, but by building a relationship and knowing about your funder, that will ensure that you are conducting your programs that in direct alignment with the mission of how they want to use their funds to further the community impact. Because really, it's an exchange. As a nonprofit organization, when you are seeking grant funds, what you are doing with an organization is saying, "Hey, you may not be able to help people and help women of domestic violence, but that's what we do. That's what we do every day, and we want to be the hands and feet." And what grant funders will do is say, "Hey, we trust you to do that for us." So it's a partnership, and that's why you should look at it as such. So it's good to have a cheat sheet. Know their last awardees, know if they have gotten and received any awards, know if they changed their website. You should just know these things, because again, it's about partnership. And this is how you also ensure that you can keep coming back to this same organization as a repeat awardee, and not just a one time and you're a one and done. And so building these partnerships are so necessary, and that's why it's good to do the research. And number three, one of the things that I cannot stress enough when you are applying for grants is to ensure that you have your documents together. Grant writing is indeed it takes some work. It's not hard. Anyone can do it. And I'm telling you, anyone can do it. But planning is crucial. So if you can have those starting documents up, ensure that you have your meeting minutes, your board contact information, maybe your last 2 years of audits, and your financial, your budget, and your operations, also expenses, and all of this captured in ready available documents. All of this will help you in the end of when you're compiling all of these components of a grant application together, because we know that even though we plan well, things happen. And so if you can do as much of the groundwork before, or get someone on your team or your board to assist you, it also will just go better for you emotionally, professionally, technically, all of the above when you are going to submit, and you're in the final stages before you submit your grant application. And so just to recap, the 3 tips of grant writing that will help you succeed in your everyday efforts as a grant writer. 1, ensure that you are eligible to apply for those grants. 2, develop a grant funder cheat sheet and do your research, because again, we are developing partnerships with these grant funding agencies. And 3, get your documents together. The more that you can have on the front end, the more organized you are, the better your grant writing process will be. And with this information, I also want to encourage you, if you would like a more in-depth training on grant writing, and especially if you would like this as an executive leader or with your team, of course, you can contact me at Kharis Grants. That's KHARISGRANTS @gmail.com. I would love to facilitate a grant writing training with your team, because this is a skill set that I believe every nonprofit organization and every nonprofit leader should have. You should be able to attract funds from multiple sources within your organization, and one of them, of course, is grants, and you should be able to do it. It's not something that you always have to getting the consultant to do for you, even though of course that's what we are here for. But more importantly for me, my role is to help you develop as many skill sets as possible for your nonprofit to succeed, and for you to impact your community at maximum and optimal levels. And again, I am here to work with you. Please give me a call at 501-404-8942. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. If you're catching the replay, thank you for watching. I hope these nuggets help you in your grant writing process. And I'm here. Let's build better communities together. You all have a nice Thursday. Bye-bye.